What's going on, guys? So I've talked to quite a few people lately, and I've been hearing I can't do this, or I don't have time, or whatever, for a lot of different things. And it's not 100% fitness related. This is for life in general. I'm going to relate it to bodybuilding because that's what most of you guys are going to be relating this to. So, but this can be taken for anything. So, when somebody says I don't have time to do something, what I hear is I don't care enough to do this. And in my opinion, you're gonna prioritize what is most important to you. So that person that says I don't have time to go to the gym, they do have time. They're just prioritizing other things in their life, and there's nothing wrong with that. You have to have priorities, and sometimes in bodybuilding we mess up our priorities. So we'll prioritize our body over other possibly more important things. So what it comes down to is how bad do you really want it? And this goes for anything. So if you're in school, how bad do I really want to get a good grade? In bodybuilding, how bad do I really want this good physique? And are you willing to do whatever it takes to get there? So when these questions come into play, people step back for a second and think, well, do I want to spend 3 hours a night meal prepping? Do I want to use steroids? Am I going to sacrifice income and relationships and other things to be the best bodybuilder I can be? And for me personally, the answer is no. I will sacrifice some things to get the best physique that I can, but there are certain things that I won't do. Like, I'm not going to not go to school, not try to make money, and just sit around and try to get the best physique I can. If that's what you're doing and that's your goal is to be a pro bodybuilder, then good for you. Like, keep doing it. But that's not my goal. So that's what it comes down to, is how bad do you really want it? So that person that really wants a successful business, and they're putting 16 hours a day into making that business successful, that's their priority. That is their number one thing in life. They're willing to do whatever it takes to make that business successful. So, yeah, maybe they won't be, other things will suffer if you're working 16 hours a day. Relationships will suffer. Your body may suffer because you're lacking sleep, you're lacking nutrition, whatever. But if that's your priority, then that's what you're going to do, whatever it takes to make that happen, and everything else is going to come second. So the most important thing is get your priorities in order. So if your priority is to be the best bodybuilder, then do that first and let everything else revolve around it. So it's really difficult to be the best at 3 or 4 different things. You have to pick one, then number two, then number three, and keep going down the list. And it's really difficult to do because there's a lot of pressure from other people to do certain things. But the most important thing is to remember, what do you want to do? What will make you happy in the long run? If you focus on your physique for 3 years and go into debt and don't work, don't do anything, is that going to make you happy? And if your answer is yes, then that's what you should be doing. If your answer is no, then you should be doing something. You have to find something that makes you happy and follow that. If you follow what you really want to do, then you won't lose, because at least you'll be happy doing it. So personally for me, building a great physique is one of my main priorities, but it's not necessarily my main priority. Like, I'm not going to spend all my time at the gym, sleeping, eating, meal prepping, doing contests, and sacrifice getting an education and setting myself up for a career in the future. I'm not going to do that, because I understand that in the long run, I will be happier if I'm financially independent than if I have a really good physique. Now, ideally, you want to do both, and you can definitely do both. But you have to figure out what is important, how much you're willing to give to it. So think about what you really want to do. Think about the things that really make you happy, and follow that. And forget about what anyone else says. I know it's really difficult to do. It's hard to look at somebody and say, this is what you want me to do, and this is what I want to do. But at the end of the day, you'll be way happier if you do what you've if you do what you know makes you happy, then it will be worth it in the long run. So I hope this is useful. So it's just something to think about. Think about what think about what you want to do with your life, and think about how much you're willing to give to get to that point. So I hope this is useful. Just something I was thinking about, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever, everything. Yeah, so that's it. I'm out.